So, since we're on the topic of Xbox and saving a brand and what the CEO can possibly do, can we actually talk about how to actually save the brand? And hopefully, she takes notes. So, let's let's run it. Come on. So, over the last couple years, it's been no mystery that Xbox has been on a downhill trajectory to basically being left behind by almost everything. At this point, taking as many shots as you can at Xbox is the golden way for success. Shout out to that little white and blue box. The new CEO of Xbox at this point has a couple little things that she can do to possibly rejuvenate the brand and make people start to think about Xbox again. And it's not out of the realm of possibilities, but it's more that if she does go this way, she'll garner as much support as she can without little to no hesitation. Ideally, the first thing that they need to do is you're gonna have to revamp the way Game Pass works. And what I'm talking about is pricing. This is the easiest way, this is the quickest way to rejuvenate the brand because at Phil Spencer's tenure and the very last little bit, that price increase, it really did hurt it. I do think that the sweet spot would have been at 1999, like we're talking about the Ultimate Edition, so day one releases, everything there. Um, the three-tier system worked perfectly fine, and I think you should keep it. So we're talking about what is it? The one that replaced gold. So the lowest tier, keep it with the PC edition only, and then Game Pass Ultimate. Bundle everything together with day ones. And I'm talking about PC day one, Xbox day one, 1999. Keep it the 11.99 that Game Pass PC is, and I think the little bit of exclusives you can. That one I think pricing you could keep it at 10 and it'd be perfectly fine, to be honest. You don't really need to up it more than that. Anything below 10 is fine. Now, the next thing that they really need to focus on, and I don't think I don't think anybody would really care if you would do this, but this would actually boost your numbers. So, if what most people don't realize is that game development, you have many prototypes, you have many demos, you have many ways of testing your product before it hits the shelves. What I think Xbox should do, and this would be chef's kiss, take Game Pass and use it as a barometer for what games you should make. And I'm talking about, you guys have prototypes there. You guys have archetypes. You guys have stuff that you need playtesting. Why not for Game Pass Ultimate throw those on the network? I know what most people are thinking. Hey, these are buggy messes. This is probably something that wouldn't work. However, PlayStation does this now. When you want to play test something or you need a what's it called a network test, you throw it on their top tier, which is platinum, I think it is, and you let those people play test for how long you do. However, if you take Game Pass Ultimate, you give it its own little subcategory of prototypes, stuff that's work in progress, but you give it to Game Pass Ultimate and you allow them to test it. You can take those analytics of how many people are actually playing it, how many people are actually having fun. It's just mess around things, things that they can just boot up, turn off. Doesn't really matter. It doesn't really affect anything, but it helps you gauge what people actually want. Because obviously, what Xbox is doing, we're following trends, is just not working. So throw those little game tests, throw those little network tests. Give the fans something else to do. Give them windows where they can test this. I'm talking about, a month of play testing, couple weeks. Games that you guys started that, didn't really recuperate money. Make Take those little demos, throw them on there, give them something more that is Xbox heavy. Then we go into the next part. Stop chasing trends. Everyone is tired of battle royales. You are not Fortnite. People are tired of microtransactions. You have Game Pass for that. You can start pulling these stuff back because you're making money even when not releasing games. Have Game Pass subsidize the games. You're telling me right now that you release a full-fledged game. There's people out there that you throw it on PlayStation and they buy it day one. Okay, let those people buy it day one. Keep your Game Pass. Keep most important things. Keep your exclusives on your platform. But if you're chasing trends, it's not going to work. You're doing half measures and you're not fully committing to what you're doing. So let's take Forza. Forza was perfect, right? You had it on Xbox. About a year and a half, you brought it to the other consoles. You brought it to Steam. That's perfectly fine. You can keep that model. You make your money that way, but you have it on Game Pass. Doesn't really matter at that point. However, pull off the live services. It's okay to have, you know, your mess arounds or your little servers where you can drive around, but not everything needs to be online. Not everything needs to be microtransactioned. This is why you're starting to lose retention. This is why you're losing people. If you make things and you put them on Game Pass and you take those features out, more people would play your games. Now, this one is, I think this one's gonna hit the hardest, and I think Xbox really needs to pay attention to this, right? AI is not going to save you. AI is not going to help. Leave AI out of video games. Like seriously. Push it off to the side. What you need to focus on now is tailored experiences that make gaming better. Not something that is going to dramatically change the industry. It hasn't done it in any other industry. It hasn't helped. Look at Grand Theft Auto. You know what I'm talking about. The classics, the HD remixes, Grove Street using all that AI and it didn't work. Even to think of Microsoft, you guys did it in Call of Duty, and how easy was it for the average consumer to point out, hey man, you guys used AI and it just didn't work. Like, don't do it. I understand that you guys want to use these stuff. You want Copilot to be a thing. You want everything else. Video games is not the place for it. Like, you get more rewards for hard work than you do taking shortcuts. And that's with anything in life. I'm coming and telling you this as somebody who was rooting for you in the very beginning, wanted Game Pass to succeed, subscribed to Game Pass, had a wonderful time, still subscribe to Game Pass, even though it's overpriced. You guys can do it. Now, this is the final part of all of this, and I think it's the most important. You have tons of franchises. You have tons of history. It's time for Game Pass to be full of the Xbox library. And I'm not talking about like subtle releases. Throw your whole category or your whole catalog in there. We're talking Blizzard. We're talking Activision. We're talking Bethesda. We're talking all the sub studios under Bethesda. There's so many of them. Machine Games, all the stuff. All that, you should be opening up the floodgates. The original Tony Hawk game should be on there. All the Crash Bandicoots. We're talking your whole library. You have tons of games. You don't even have to release any more games. You could just use these to subsidize Game Pass and make it what people want. People want to play those retro games. People want to find ways of actually accessing them, especially now where you have Nintendo, PlayStation hammering down on emulation. You guys should be the home of all these franchises. Shoot, but Blizzard has tons of games that are on Game Gear that you can't even find anywhere else. Throw those games on there. You guys really want to hit it out the park? And I know it's controversial, but I really do think that it would be a home run. You take the games that are PC exclusives and you start to bring them to Windows. I'm talking World of Warcraft. Make it work. Bring it to Game Pass. Have a free-to-play version where you get vanilla or first couple levels, and then you introduce the subscription. And these are literally stuff that you already have in-house that you're not even reinventing the wheel. These are subtle changes, subtle designs, subtle things that will harness and garner goodwill amongst the gamers, and you will slowly start to build back that fan base. You guys now have the opportunity. The ball is in your court. You can choose to go down the wrong rabbit hole and screw this up, fumble it as bad as possible. Or you could have exactly what you wanted and make Xbox a household brand again. You have tons of legacy. You have tons of things that you could possibly go through. You have tons of archives. You're going to tell me right now that you have the potential to do whatever you want. Maybe it's time you bring Pitfall back and make it into your version of Uncharted. I'm telling you, there's tons of stuff that you can pull out of that archive. Tons of games that you can pull out of that archive. And I know that you can do this because you took Pitfall and made it an endless runner. I'm just saying. But I know there's people out there that may disagree. So leave it in the comment section below if you disagree. If you like this video, make sure to rate, comment, and subscribe. And I'll see you guys on the next one. Peace.